Now, well, this was not part of the script, guys. That was not today's 1-0 loss against Wolves away at the Molineux at Wolves. That wasn't part of the script. The whole script was bring back Chelsea legend Super Frankie Lampard, play against Wolves, win against Wolves, collect 3 points, build some kind of chemistry, build some kind of confidence, and use that as a platform moving forward for our all-important game on Tuesday against Real Madrid. That was the script, guys, but it didn't go down. It didn't go down that way. Welcome back to the Chelsea Godfather channel. Subscribe for regular Chelsea updates, guys. Let's jump right in. I don't know. I mean, you all watched it. You all saw what happened. It was just terrible, guys. I mean, there's not much to break down. It was terrible. It was more of the same. It was terrible. In fact, it felt like we even took 1 or 2 steps backwards, which you would have thought that it couldn't be any way that we could have gotten worse from what we saw against Potter. But that's what basically looked like. That's what it felt like for me as a Chelsea fan watching in the first half. I mean, Lampard had our guys lined up in a 4-2, at least what looked like for me early on as a 4-2-3-1. But then it later got switched into a traditional 4-3-3 with Enzo as the holding midfielder, flanked by Kovacic and Gallagher. And it just like we didn't have control of the game in the first half. That's the reality. Like the fact that we actually lost this game is because our midfield did not have control of the game. Pretty much at any time. Unfortunately, we just could not control the game. In the first half, we could barely string 2 or 3 passes together. We sure as heck could not pass out of the back. We were just having problems in trying to pass out of the back. Everybody was just taking turns in terms of losing the ball and turning over the ball, whether it's Raheem Sterling, Kai Havertz, Felix gave us nothing. Gallagher is not the best on the ball in tight spaces. Like we already know all of that. Cucurella was just neither here nor there, and the goal came from his side, right? Basically giving spaces and gaps. That was the whole theme of the first half. Is that Wolves pretty much did whatever they wanted to do. They had all of the time in the world, all the spaces. Our team was not organized. I mean, when we would press, we wouldn't press as a team. We weren't defending as a team. It was just, as I mentioned, felt like we took some steps backwards, and that's basically effectively what led to Matheus Nunes wonder goal, right? It was a perfect shot, perfect strike for his first goal as a Wolves player, and it was a marvelous goal. I don't know if whether we had Mendy, whether he would have made a save, but the shot was just perfect, and it went to the far corner. So fair play to Nunes, and but the reality again is this again gave me vibes of our last loss against Aston Villa, in that Wolves did not have to be playing in a spectacular way. We didn't really make them sweat. They just had to just pretty much press us, stay on top of us, string some passes together, get that wonder goal from Nunes. And just and then play it smart the rest of the way. That's exactly what Wolves did. They played it smart, waited for Chelsea to react, for Chelsea to bring on the cavalry and try and turn things around. And this again is the story of our season. Fair play to Frank Lampard. He made some subs, brought in, did a triple change and so on and so forth. But I mean, we didn't get anything out of that. We got nothing out of our subs. We got nothing out of the guys on the pitch, and we got nothing out of the subs coming off the bench. We just weren't playing like a team. And it doesn't matter who you have, the names on the back of the shirt. If you're not playing as a team, and the other opponent that's in front of you is playing more, together as a team, then you will have a rough day at the office. This is not rocket, science. Wolves played more as a team than, Chelsea. So, at some point in time, we have to understand that it's not even about who we have, who we buy, who's playing, who's not playing. If the guys on the field cannot defend together as a team, press together as a team, attack together as a team, then it's going to be rough. I mean, case in point, I believe, was it late in the second half? It may have even been in injury time, where Chilwell had a perfect. I know James had one, but Chilwell definitely had the last perfect cross, like around the 90th minute or so. And I counted on the replay, we only had 2 white shirts in the box when we're losing 1-0. A perfect cross that eluded every player, both Chelsea and Wolves player. Had we had 5 players in the box, we likely would have scored. And that is the whole point. The whole point is, when you attack, you gotta attack as a team. The clubs on top of in the top 4, the positions that Chelsea would love to be at. If you watch those teams, you will notice that when they attack, they get players forward. They actually get players in the box in the last third. And when they lose the ball, everybody, all hands on deck, they start sprinting backwards as a team. And until Chelsea can get anywhere remotely close to that ability, this is what it's gonna be. So I didn't really mean to have to kind of break this thing down, but suffice it to say that this game doesn't leave us with any kind of hope for any kind of miracle against Real Madrid, guys. Like, I don't know, man. I mean I'm not really looking for, and I'm a diehard. I watch every Chelsea game preseason, even if you line up kids and put a Chelsea jersey on them. I will, and if it's live on TV, I'm probably gonna watch it, right? But guys, I'm not looking forward to this Real Madrid game. I'm being honest. This is the first time in like well over 20 years. I have to admit that I'm not looking forward for Chelsea playing in a Champions League game, let alone a Champions League quarterfinal match against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Guys, if we're not organized tactically, there's no way out. I mean, we're not going to survive Real Madrid. This is not 2012. This is not going to be any kind of dream of 2012. So, and the reason why I say that is because we already know that Frank Lampard is not the most tactically astute manager. He's nowhere near that level as a manager in his development, right? To understand what's important, what's not important, all those kind of little things, nuances. He has his way of seeing the game, but he doesn't fully grasp or fully appreciate the tactical intricacies of the game, right? That's what Lampard he wasn't. We already know that. And what helped us in 2012 was the fact that we had players, senior players, experienced players that had played, which included Frank Lampard. Ironically, that had played under tactical ingrained managers, tactical oriented managers, and so therefore, in a way, that team, that 2012 team, was a bit of a turnkey team where the coach would just give them a plan and just sit back and just pray and hope that the boys will figure it out. And that was essentially what happened. How Di Matteo was able to basically take credit for winning the Champions League. But this squad that Lampard has taken over, they are talented players, but they're unproven players. They're like over 90% are relatively proven. Even our best, those ones that are the best, are still relatively unproven. Most of our guys are like under 25 years or under, right? And so that it's going to be rough. So what helped us in 2021, which was a tactically astute Tommy T, Tuchel, right? We don't have that in 2023. It's like we basically wind the clocks back, but we didn't we wind it back to 2019, and we have Lampard, who hasn't really sort of improved much in his progression as a manager. So I don't know, guys. We're just praying right now. Let me just come out right out and say it. We're just praying. I mean, it's Easter, weekend. Tomorrow is Easter, Sunday, the resurrection of our Lord. So those of us who are Christians, right? So that's just faith. That's all. We're just going by as of right now. It's just faith. We're going by faith, because if you try to rationalize any possible or reasonable way that Chelsea can somehow outlast Real Madrid over 2 games, the way that we are playing and have been playing the past since we got rid of Dortmund, and under the current manager that we have and the managers that we had in the past few, guys, there is no rational way to even think to make sense of how we can actually get it done. And certainly after watching today's another lifeless result, which was a 1-0 away loss at Wolves. Now, we're not dreaming about any glory against Real Madrid right now. But again, as I mentioned, tomorrow is Easter Sunday, and so therefore miracles can happen. So how do y'all feel about any kind of dreams or miracles happening against Real Madrid on Tuesday? Comment below, subscribe to my channel, and happy Easter in advance. Peace, y'all.